Have you ever felt the ground disappear beneath your feet after a resounding no? That project you poured nights of study into, that idea that seemed brilliant, that learning opportunity that slipped through your fingers, and suddenly, the deafening silence of rejection. What if I told you that in that exact moment of apparent defeat lies a hidden power, an ancient strategy capable of transforming the bitterness of being turned down into your greatest source of strength and growth? Prepare yourself, because what you're about to discover can forever change the way you face every closed door on your journey. Before we dive into this transformation, it's crucial that you are equipped. For this 30-day journey, we suggest reading Timeless Principles of Self-Control and Resilience, a compilation of ancient wisdom. Also, have a simple but powerful tool at hand, a Stoic reflection journal. It can be a notebook or a basic notes app, and for moments of greater emotional turbulence, we will teach the box breathing technique, an effective method to find your center again. Remember, in our universe of learning, every activity and reflection seeks immediate feedback from reality, and growth flourishes when we embrace discomfort in a controlled way, empowering you to be the master of your journey. First, let's face this beast called rejection head-on. The painful echo of no. Rejection often arrives as an unexpected blow. Whether it's a negative evaluation in an important class or a refusal of collaboration in a study group, the initial impact is almost always visceral. A knot in your stomach, your mind racing to find justifications, the urge to argue, to defend yourself, or worse, to diminish yourself. Do you identify with this, brother? That punch in the gut that leaves you breathless, questioning everything. That moment when the world seems to be conspiring against you. It's a universal feeling, believe me. No one is immune to it. But how you deal with it, that's what defines the man you become. It's the difference between the warrior who gets up stronger and the one who stays down in the arena. And here's the first revelation, a little twist that can start to change your perspective. This pain, although real, often deceives us. The no is rarely a verdict on your worth as a person, but rather feedback on a proposal, a moment, a specific compatibility. Understand this deeply. The no is not about who you are, it's about what you presented, or how you presented it, or when you presented it, and even then, often, it's not even about you, it's about the other person, about the other person's limitations, the other person's fears, the other person's worldview. But our mind loves drama, doesn't it? It takes that no and turns it into a seven-headed monster, whispering in your ear that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that you don't deserve it. And the worst part is, we believe it. We internalize this lie and let it corrode our confidence, our self-esteem. How many times have you found yourself dwelling on a rejection for days, weeks, even months, reliving the scene in your head, imagining what you could have done differently, blaming yourself, beating yourself up? This vicious cycle of self-flagellation is a slow poison, man. It paralyzes you. It prevents you from trying again. It turns you into a shadow of the man you were born to be. And I ask you, how long will you allow this to happen? How long will you let a simple no dictate your worth, your future? Think about it. That project that wasn't approved, was it really the best path for you? Or did the no force you to seek alternatives, to refine your ideas, to find an even more incredible path? That job opening you didn't get, would it have led you to the fulfillment you seek? Or did the universe save you from a trap, from a toxic environment, from a boss who would drain your energy? Rejection, my friend, is often a detour, a course correction, a sign that there's something bigger and better waiting for you ahead, if you have the courage to keep walking. But for that, you need to learn to decode the message behind the no. You need to stop taking it personally. You need to understand that rejection is part of the growth process for any man of value. The greatest men in history collected no's before achieving success. They didn't give up. They learned. They adapted. They used each closed door as a step to climb higher. And you, what will you do with the next no life presents you? Will you shrink back and give up? Or will you raise your head, dust yourself off, and use this experience to become even stronger, more resilient, more prepared for victory? The choice is yours. It always has been. It always will be. And if this message is already starting to resonate with you, if you felt that punch in the gut of rejection, leave a like on this video. Show us that you're here, ready to turn the game around. We want to know that we are in this journey together. This pain you feel, it's real, we won't deny it. That tightness in your chest, the feeling of emptiness, the anger, the frustration, all of this is human. It's natural. The problem is not feeling the pain. The problem is drowning in it. It's allowing it to define you. It's building an identity of victim, of failure. That doesn't suit you, warrior. You were born for more. You have immense potential inside you waiting to be unleashed, and rejection, no matter how painful, can be the key to unlocking that potential. Think of rejection as a brutal but effective personal trainer. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It forces you to confront your weaknesses. It shows you where you need to improve. Does it hurt? Of course it hurts, but it's in that pain that the muscle grows. It's in that discomfort that strength is forged. So the next time no knocks at your door, take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel the initial sting. But don't linger there. Don't set up camp in the land of self-pity. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Where did I go wrong? What can I do differently next time? How can I use this experience to become better? These are the questions successful men ask themselves. These are the questions that put you back in control of your narrative, because in the end, rejection has no power over you unless you allow it. The power is in your response, in your attitude, in your decision to transform poison into medicine. Always remember this. The no is not the end of the line. It's just a curve in the road, an opportunity to recalibrate the compass and move forward, wiser, stronger, more determined than ever. And that, my friend, is the first step to mastering the art of transforming rejection into triumph. It's acknowledging the pain, yes, but not letting it paralyze you. It's understanding that no is an event, not a sentence. It's feedback, not a final judgment on your worth. And when you internalize this truth, something magical begins to happen. That weight on your shoulders begins to lift. That critical voice in your head begins to lose power. And you begin to see rejection not as an enemy to be feared, but as a severe yet fair teacher guiding you on the journey of self-development. Think of elite athletes. How many times do they fail? How many shots do they miss? How many races do they lose? Countless. But each failure, each no in life, is analyzed, dissected, transformed into learning. They go back to training, adjust their technique, strengthen their minds, and that's why they reach the top. They are not afraid to fail. They are not afraid of the no. They embrace the process. They understand that mastery is built on a mountain of trial and error. And you, on your journey, whatever it may be, in your studies, your career, your personal projects, you are also an athlete of life. And rejection is just part of your training. So stop running from it. Stop fearing it. Start facing it head on, with courage, with curiosity, with the determination of a champion. Because that is exactly what you are, a champion in potential. And each no is just an invitation for you to prove it to yourself. Now let's move on to our second crucial point, the second pillar of this transformative conversation, unraveling the anatomy of rejection. Why does it hurt so much? And more importantly, how to use this pain, this understanding to your advantage. To understand why rejection hits us with such force, we need to delve a little into our own biology, our psychology. You see, neuroscience, that fascinating science that studies our brain, has discovered something impressive. The brain processes the pain of social rejection in the same areas where it processes physical pain. You heard that right. That no you received, that exclusion from the group, that criticism that hurt you. For your brain, it's almost like taking a real punch. That's why the pain is so visceral, so real. It's not being dramatic. It's not all in your head. It's a genuine neurological response. And why did our brain evolve this way? Think of our ancestors living in tribes, in small groups. For them, social acceptance, belonging to the group, was not just a matter of emotional well-being. It was a matter of survival. Being rejected by the tribe meant being expelled, being alone, vulnerable to predators, hunger, cold. In many cases, it meant death. This ancestral fear of rejection, this primordial need for belonging, is still etched in our DNA, in our reptilian brain. Even though today, in our modern society, rejection rarely means a direct physical threat to our survival, our brain still reacts with that primitive alarm. Danger. You've been rejected. Your survival is at risk. It's an alert system that, although well-intentioned, often overreacts in the contemporary world. And here comes another powerful factor, especially for us men: the ego. Our male identity. From an early age, we are bombarded with messages about what it means to be a man, to be strong, to be successful, to be a provider, to be respected, not to fail, not to show weakness. And rejection, rejection feels like a direct attack on the armor we've built around ourselves. It pokes at our deepest insecurities. It makes us question our competence, our masculinity, our worth in the eyes of others, and worse, in our own eyes. The social pressure for men to be constant winners is brutal. And when the no comes, it sounds like a certificate of failure, as if we are not good enough to fulfill this idealized role of alpha male. And that hurts. It hurts the soul. But here's the key, warrior. This pain, this intense reaction, can also be a source of invaluable information. If you learn to observe it without judgment, it can reveal a lot about yourself, about your fears, your limiting beliefs, the areas of your life where you are most vulnerable, where you need to strengthen yourself. Think about it. Rejection is not just an external event. It is a mirror that reflects your inner world. And if you have the courage to look at that reflection, without looking away, you can discover hidden treasures, opportunities for growth you never imagined. Furthermore, it is important to understand that there are different types of rejection. Not every no is the same. There is explicit rejection, clear, direct, the kind that leaves no doubt. You didn't pass the test. Your project was rejected. We are not interested. This hurts, but at least it's honest. You know where you stand. But there is also implicit rejection, subtle, veiled, the kind that leaves you in doubt, feeling invisible, ignored. An unanswered email, an invitation that never comes, a look of indifference. This can be even more corrosive because it feeds our paranoia, our tendency to create stories in our heads. And there is also self-rejection, perhaps the most treacherous of all. It's when you sabotage yourself, when you say no to yourself before even trying, when you convince yourself that you are not capable, that you don't deserve it, that it won't work out. This is the rejection that comes from within, fueled by our insecurities and the no's from the past that we have internalized. And it is against this that the fight is hardest, but also most rewarding. We need to be aware of these different nuances of rejection so that we don't fall into the trap of generalizing, of thinking that every no is a personal catastrophe. The culture of success at any cost, of looking perfect on social media, only makes things worse. It creates an illusion that everyone is winning all the time except you, and this amplifies the fear of rejection, the fear of showing any vulnerability, any failure. But the truth, my friend, is that real life is made of ups and downs, of victories and defeats, of yeses and nos. And anyone who tries to sell you a different image is lying to you or to themselves. Now, how to use this knowledge about the anatomy of rejection to your advantage? First, by recognizing that pain is a natural response, but that you don't have to be its hostage. You can observe it, understand it, and then choose how you will react. Second, by differentiating the types of rejection. A no based on constructive feedback is a gift. Someone took the trouble to show you where you can improve. Be grateful and use it to grow. On the other hand, a no based on prejudice, ignorance, ill will. That says more about who is rejecting than about who is being rejected. Filter it. Don't absorb what doesn't belong to you. Third, and perhaps most importantly, start seeing no as a powerful filter. Think with me. How many times in life do we get involved in situations, projects, relationships that are not for us, that deviate us from our purpose, that drain our energy, that make us unhappy? Often the no is the universe telling you, hey man, this path is not for you. I have something better reserved, but you need to be free for it. Rejection can save you a lot of headaches in the future. It can protect you from traps. It can direct you to opportunities you didn't even consider, but that are much more aligned with who you really are and what you really want. It's as if life is doing you a favor, giving you a little push in the right direction, even if at the time it feels like a painful stumble. And finally, see rejection as a test of character, a test of resilience, a test of your moral fiber. It's easy to be positive when everything is going well. It's easy to be confident when everyone is applauding you. But the true test of a man is how he behaves in adversity, how he deals with a door slammed in his face, how he gets up after falling. It is in these moments that you discover what you are made of. It is in these moments that you forge the steel of your soul. So, the next time rejection finds you, remember this. Remember your biology, your psychology. Remember the power of the ego and social pressure. But above all, remember that you have the capacity to transcend all this, to use this experience, no matter how painful, as a springboard to a new level of self-knowledge, strength and wisdom. And that, my brother, is true power. The power not to be defined by circumstances, but to define yourself through your response to them. I want to hear from you. What was the hardest no you've ever faced? Share it in the comments, anonymously if you prefer. Remember, this is a space for warriors, for men who support each other. Your story can inspire another brother who is going through the same thing. Don't keep this pain to yourself. Transform it into strength, into connection. By deeply understanding why rejection hurts so much, you take away its power to control you. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as an observer, a learner, a strategist. You begin to realize that this intense pain is, in fact, a sign that something important is at stake. Something that shakes your deepest structures. And that's good, because it is precisely at these tension points that growth happens. Think of a diamond. It is formed under immense pressure. Without the pressure, it would just be coal. Rejection, when well understood and well utilized, can be that pressure that transforms you into something much more valuable. It forces you to reevaluate your plans, your strategies, your beliefs. It forces you to leave your comfort zone, to seek new skills, to develop new perspectives. And every time you go through this process, you become stronger, more adaptable, more anti-fragile. Anti-fragility, a powerful concept you need to internalize. It's not just about being resilient, taking the hit, and returning to the previous state. It's about benefiting from chaos, shocks, rejections. It's like an immune system that gets stronger after fighting a virus. Each no can be a vaccine that strengthens you for future challenges. But for this to happen, you need to change your mindset. You need to stop seeing rejection as a personal failure and start seeing it as data, information, feedback from the world. And what do you do with data? You analyze it, you learn from it, you use it to make better decisions. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in our next topic. How to practically transform the bitterness of rejection into fuel for your victory. Get ready, because now we're moving into the part about emotional alchemy. And this leads us directly to our third great pillar, the third crucial stage of our transformation journey, the art of emotional alchemy. How to take that raw emotion, that pain, that frustration that rejection causes, and transmute it into something positive, into motivation, into determination, into fuel for your victory. Because, my friend, the energy of rejection is powerful. If you let it, it will destroy you. But if you learn to channel it, it can propel you to heights you never imagined. It's like taming a wild horse. It requires courage, technique, and persistence. But once tamed, it takes you far. The first tool you have at your disposal, and which we already mentioned at the beginning, is your Stoic reflection journal. Don't underestimate the power of a simple notebook and pen or a notes app on your phone. Stoicism, that ancient philosophy practiced by emperors, warriors, thinkers, teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our judgments, our responses, and to accept with serenity what we cannot control, the opinions of others, external results, the no's of life. And the journal is your Stoic training ground. It's where you will dissect rejection, not to drown in self-pity, but to extract wisdom from it. So, how to use this journal in practice? When a rejection hits, you set aside some time, even just a few minutes, to write about it. Describe what happened objectively. Then explore how you felt. Allow yourself to name the emotions: anger, sadness, shame, fear. Don't judge, just observe and record. Next, and here's the alchemist's trick, start questioning your thoughts. That voice in your head that says you're a failure, is it telling the absolute truth? Or is it just an interpretation, a story you are telling yourself? Challenge that story. Look for evidence that contradicts it. Remember past successes, qualities you possess, people who value you. And then focus on the learning. What did this rejection teach you? About yourself, about the situation, about what you need to improve? What factors contributed to the no? Were some outside your control? Which ones were under your control? And most importantly, what will be your next constructive step? Not a step of revenge or self-punishment, but a step that moves you forward, that brings you closer to your goals, even if by a different path. Write this down. Create an action plan, no matter how small. This process of reflective writing is incredibly powerful. It helps you organize your thoughts, process your emotions, gain perspective, and regain a sense of agency, of control over your own life. It transforms rejection from a terrifying monster into a solvable problem, into a challenge to be overcome. Before we continue to the next step of this transformation journey, I want to ask you something. Grab your Stoic reflection journal now. If you don't have one, a simple notebook will do. Write down a recent rejection that affected you. That's all for now. Describe the fact, the feeling, and the first lesson you can draw from it. Do it now. Pause the video if you need to. Let's work on this together. Because transformation only happens through action. The second powerful tool we have is the box breathing technique. In moments of greater emotional turbulence, when rejection catches you by surprise and your heart races, your mind becomes confused, this simple technique can be your anchor. It's used by Navy SEALs, by high-performance athletes, by anyone who needs to stay calm and focused under pressure, and it's ridiculously easy to learn. It works like this. Inhale slowly through your nose, counting to 4. Hold the air in your lungs, counting to 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth, counting to 4. Keep your lungs empty, counting to 4. Repeat this cycle for a few minutes. 4 seconds to inhale, 4 to hold, 4 to exhale, 4 to pause. Visualize a square as you do this, each side representing a stage of breathing. This rhythmic and controlled breathing has an immediate calming effect on your nervous system. It reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone. It clears the mind. It brings you back to the present moment, to your center. So the next time no destabilizes you, before reacting impulsively, before drowning in emotion, stop. Breathe. Use box breathing. Give yourself that space to process, to regain balance. You will be surprised by the difference it makes. With the journal and the breathing, you already have two powerful weapons in your arsenal. But emotional alchemy goes further. It also involves changing perspective. Remember what we said about Stoicism, accepting what we cannot control. The no from someone else is outside your control. You can present the best project in the world, be the most qualified candidate, have the most brilliant idea, and still hear a no, because the final decision is not yours, and trying to control the uncontrollable is a surefire recipe for frustration and suffering. Instead, focus your energy on what you can control. Your preparation, your attitude, your response to rejection, your persistence, your ability to learn and adapt. That's where your true power lies. That's where the magic happens. And here comes the anti-fragile mindset, which we mentioned earlier. The anti-fragile doesn't just resist shock, it becomes stronger because of it. Think about it. Each rejection is an opportunity to test your limits, to discover new strengths, to refine your strategies. It's like a bone that breaks and as it regenerates becomes even stronger at that point. Rejection can be that catalyst for strengthening if you allow it. How? By actively seeking feedback. Instead of running from criticism, look for it. Ask the people who told you no, when appropriate and possible, of course, what you could have done differently. What did they see that you didn't? Use this feedback not to beat yourself up, but to refine your approach. See each no as a step that teaches you something new, a step that brings you closer to the yes. Think of men we admire, men who have achieved great things. How many no's do you think they heard along the way? Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. J.K. Rowling had her Harry Potter manuscript rejected by dozens of publishers. The list is endless. What did these men and women have in common? They didn't give up. They didn't let rejection define them. They used each no as a springboard. They transformed the pain of rejection into a bonfire of motivation. They told themselves, "I will prove you wrong. I will find a way. I will come back stronger." That's the champion's attitude. That's the emotional alchemist's attitude. And you, my friend, can also cultivate this attitude. How? By transforming the anger and frustration, which are natural responses to rejection, into energy for action. Instead of dwelling on the injustice, use that energy to study more, to train more, to prepare better. Channel that emotion into a constructive purpose. Let it propel you to give your best, to overcome your own limits, but be careful not to let that anger turn into bitterness, into resentment. That will only poison you. Use it as starting fuel, but then transform it into passion, into determination, into relentless focus. And remember the importance of a support network. True friends, mentors, people who believe in you, even when you doubt yourself. Share your struggles with them. Ask for advice. Seek encouragement. You don't have to carry this weight alone. A true warrior knows when to ask for help. He knows that strength also lies in humility and the ability to connect with others. So, summarizing the art of emotional alchemy, use your Stoic journal to reflect and learn. Use box breathing to calm and center yourself. Adopt the Stoic perspective of focusing on what you can control. Cultivate the anti-fragile mindset of getting stronger from the blows. Seek feedback and use it to grow. Be inspired by examples of overcoming challenges. Transform anger into productive motivation. And rely on your support network. These are the tools, the strategies that will allow you to take the lead of rejection and transform it into the gold of your personal achievement. It's not an easy process. It's not fast. It requires practice, discipline, self-awareness. But I guarantee you it's worth every effort. Because when you master this art, you become unstoppable. You become the master of your journey, capable of transforming any obstacle into opportunity, any no into a step towards success. And that, my brother, is true freedom. The freedom not to be limited by the opinions of others, but to be driven by your own inner strength. And if you are not yet part of our community of men striving for excellence, now is the time. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We have much more powerful content coming your way, practical tools for you to become your best version. Join us on this journey of growth and transformation. Don't miss the next steps. The alchemy of rejection is a continuous process, a dance between acceptance and action. It's recognizing the pain, allowing yourself to feel it, but not letting it paralyze you. It's extracting from each no the seed of a future yes, stronger, more aligned, more meaningful. It's understanding that often rejection is not an endpoint, but a turning point. A chance to reevaluate, to recalibrate, to rediscover your path and your strength. And that strength, my friend, already exists within you. Alchemy merely teaches you how to access it, polish it, use it with wisdom and courage. And now we arrive at our fourth and final topic, the peak of our journey. Today, but the beginning of a new phase in your life, building your inner fortress. How to develop unshakable resilience and embrace the continuous pursuit of growth, so that every future no not only doesn't knock you down, but propels you even further. Because, let's be honest, the no's will keep coming. That's life. It's a series of challenges, tests, doors that close so that others, better ones, can open. The question is not how to avoid rejection. The question is how you prepare for it, how you face it, and how you emerge from it stronger than before. And the key to that is resilience. But what is resilience, really? It's not being born strong, like an invulnerable superhero. That's a myth. Resilience is the capacity to adapt well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. such as family and relationship problems, serious health problems, or stressful work or financial situations. It's about bouncing back from difficult experiences. It's about learning to get up, dust yourself off, and keep going, no matter how many times you fall. And the good news is that resilience is not a personality trait that some people have and others don't. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed by anyone. You can build your resilience brick by brick, like building a fortress. And how do you do that in everyday life? Start with small challenges. Deliberately step outside your comfort zone in different areas of your life. Learn a new skill. Take on a project that scares you a little. Face a difficult conversation. Every time you overcome a small obstacle, you strengthen your resilience muscle. You prove to yourself that you are capable of dealing with discomfort, with uncertainty. Discipline is another fundamental pillar. Create healthy routines and stick to them, even when you don't feel like it. Take care of your body with exercise and good nutrition. Take care of your mind with reading, meditation, continuous learning. Discipline gives you structure, gives you control over yourself, and that is crucial when the external world seems chaotic. Self-knowledge is the foundation of everything. The more you know yourself, your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your emotional triggers, the better prepared you are to deal with rejection constructively. The Stoic Journal is a powerful tool for this, as we have seen. But also seek feedback, talk to trusted people, reflect on your experiences. Understand who you are and what truly matters to you. This will give you an anchor, a direction, even when the storms of rejection arrive. And when the no comes, as it inevitably will, see it as an opportunity to refine your goals and strategies. Perhaps your goal was too vague. Perhaps your approach was not the best. Perhaps you need more preparation, more knowledge, more skill. Rejection is brutally honest feedback. Use it. Not to blame yourself, but to adjust your course, to become more effective, more efficient, more aligned with what you want to achieve. Here comes the concept of intelligent failure. In the world of innovation, entrepreneurship, high-performance sports, failure is not seen as the opposite of success. It is an integral part of the success process. Fail fast, learn fast, adjust fast. That's the mindset. Each no is an experiment that didn't yield the expected result. Okay, what did we learn? How can we do it differently next time? Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not learning from your mistakes. Be afraid of being paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. And here I want to touch on a crucial point, especially for us men: self-compassion. Often we are taught to be hard on ourselves, to swallow our tears, not to show weakness, to demand perfection from ourselves. And when rejection happens, that critical inner voice becomes relentless. You're an idiot. You're good for nothing. You'll never make it. That's not strength, that's self-destruction. Self-compassion is not self-pity. It's not playing the victim. It's treating yourself with the same kindness, with the same understanding, with the same support that you would offer a good friend who was going through a difficult time. It's recognizing that you are human, that making mistakes is part of it, that feeling pain is normal. It's giving yourself permission to fail, to learn, to grow. Without self-compassion, resilience becomes too heavy a burden to carry. Think of your journey as the hero's journey. In all great stories, the hero faces obstacles, setbacks, moments of despair. Rejection is one of those moments. It is the call to adventure, which is often initially refused. It is the dragon that must be faced. It is the dark cave where the treasure is hidden. And the treasure, my friend, is not just external success. It is internal transformation. It is the discovery of your own strength, your own courage, your own wisdom. Each no is an invitation for you to become the hero of your own story. And how to maintain motivation and hope, even in the face of recurring rejections. First, remember your why. What is your mission? What is your greater purpose? What truly drives you? When you have a strong enough why, you find the strength to overcome almost any how. Connect with that inner flame every day. Second, celebrate small victories. Don't wait until you reach the big goal to feel good. Recognize each step, each learning, each overcoming. This gives you energy to continue. Third, maintain a long-term vision. Understand that the journey is a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint. There will be ups and downs. There will be detours. There will be moments when you will want to give up. But if you persist, if you keep learning and growing, each no will in fact be bringing you closer to the right yes. The yes that truly matters. The yes that is aligned with your true self. And finally, think about the legacy you want to build. How do you want to be remembered? As a man who cowered in the face of challenges, or as a man who faced adversity head-on, who transformed every obstacle into opportunity, who inspired others? With his courage and resilience? A man who is defined not by his falls, but by his ability to get up again and again and again. This is the inner fortress we are building here, a fortress made of self-knowledge, discipline, self-compassion, continuous learning. A fortress that doesn't isolate you from the world, but allows you to navigate it with more security, more confidence, more purpose. A fortress that allows you to face any no, not as a defeat, but as a step in your ascent. And this construction, my brother, is a lifelong work. But every day you invest in it, you become stronger, wiser, freer. You become the master of your journey, the architect of your destiny. So we have reached the end of this conversation, this deep dive into the universe of rejection and resilience. But this is not an endpoint. It is a starting point, a call for you to take everything we've discussed here, the understanding of the pain of no, the anatomy of rejection, emotional alchemy, building your inner fortress, and apply it to your life. Now, today. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. Start where you are with what you have. Remember the tools, the Stoic journal, box breathing, seeking feedback, connecting with your why. Remember that every no is an opportunity in disguise, a chance to learn, to grow, to become the man you were born to. The journey won't be easy. There will be moments of doubt, pain, frustration. But now you are more prepared. Now you have a map. Now you know that strength is not in avoiding falls, but in getting up stronger each time. You are a warrior. And your greatest battle is not against the external world, but against your own limitations, your own fears. Win that internal battle, and there will be no no capable of stopping you. Go forth, embrace the discomfort, transform rejection into your greatest fuel, and build a life of meaning, purpose, and impact. The power is within you, it always has been. Now go and use it.